Good evening, dandies. Welcome to Undetermined, the podcast.
Jumping off spot.
Jumping in, jumping off.
Jumping in, jumping off.
Do the hokey pokey. Hello. We are rolling.
Welcome, everybody, to Undetermined the Podcast. Just to get introductions out of the way, because we always forget to do that. We usually just start bullshitting and then, that goes to the wayside. But I'm really excited to welcome Commander Nick Sakes is with us here.
Yes.
So, yes, Dazzling Killmen, Upright Forms. A long history.
Colossamite, Sicbay, Xaddax.
Xaddax, yep, Sicbay. And man, Dazzling Killmen coming back around for a couple more shows too. And just finished up with Upright Forms at Caterwaul, right? 25. How'd that go?
Yeah,
that went really well.
Good.
Outside shows can go sideways somehow. I played some that, like, the world just kind of absorbs all the volume. I remember playing a show years ago and just my amp was on 10 and I couldn't hear it unless my face is right up against the speakers. But no, it sounded great. We practiced enough. And it was one of those shows like, wow, it went off really well. And I'd say about 1 in 5 maybe or so. The ratio's not perfect. It was one of the good ones. I'm happy to report.
Right on.
We had fun.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess that's good for everybody else but me. We didn't get to go, so I'm just kind of pissed. I know, but I mean, you messaged me. Thanks for the
the condolences.
Condolences. But yeah, just too broke to do it this year. But man, it looked like I missed out. Outstanding lineup just about every day going on there. But that's also where we got to meet face to face. I've got to tell this story because it's kind of funny. We went to Caterwaul last year, and Nick comes up to me at a point, says, "Hey, I recognize you guys. I'm supposed to say hi from Dan, because you also work with Discipline PR, right?"
Yes.
And he's also an outstanding photographer of a lot of these live shows. And but I was like, "Oh, hi." And he said, "Hi, my name's Nick." But I think we were driving back home, and I think I finally figured out who you were. And I was like, "That's Nick Sakes from Dazzling Killmen." and the funny thing was, like, I hadn't seen you since I saw a show way back in Springfield, Missouri, and like, gosh, at the Division Street Club.
Nope. Commercial Street Club.
Commercial. I live.
That was it.
Might I not to correct, but it was the Commercial Street Club.
That's
right.
By
the railroad tracks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was afraid that place was going to collapse.
It had a charm.
Yeah.
It had a second floor ballroom just about to collapse charm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like a 70s kind of international Oddfellows kind of hall type atmosphere. I think Billy at Dirt Nap opened for you guys that night. Yeah, and that was my first real exposure to like hardcore music in Missouri. I came from like up in Illinois and up in Chicago. It was a different scene there, but yeah, I was floored, man, just floored.
Were you going to shows up in Chicago too?
Yeah, every once in a while when I could get to the city. I mean, I wasn't, I wasn't like right in the city. It was a couple hours outside.
Is that in the good old Cubby Bear days?
Yeah, I've only seen one show at the Cubby Bear though.
I never have.
Yeah, and it wasn't great.
They can't all be hits.
No, they can't. But yeah, the Exit and Metro and shit like that. Those are great clubs. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, you were born here. Were you born here in Columbia or?
No, actually, I was born in St. Louis.
Born
in Barnes Hospital. on Christmas Day, 1963.
Wow.
I was born on Christmas. Yeah, it's
In a Jewish hospital. Yeah.
I guess so. It was just Barnes Hospital back then. They didn't have the Jewish word on there.
Barnes Jewish.
Yeah, about lunchtime I came out into the world.
Nice.
And here I am now, 61 and a half years later.
Nice. Well, we're glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks. I think that you may have seen one of our first out-of-town shows. That it was either that or this kind of weird place on the way to Columbia on kind of off of I-70. We played with Ultraman. If it weren't for Tim Jameson, the singer of Ultraman, we wouldn't have played anywhere. But I don't think anywhere. That guy took a liking to us and helped us with almost every show. He was like our caretaker. He got us those Fugazi shows at Mississippi Nights. He would get us really cool shows at the Outhouse in Lawrence and the one in Commercial Street. I think, or maybe that might have come from Book Your Own Fucking Life book, because that was in there. And people, that was a crazy thing. People actually used that book maybe to this day. I don't know. And booked entire tours from that Maximum Rock and Roll, like how to book your own tour guide. Did you ever see that?
No, I haven't.
I've heard of it. I am familiar with the whole concept.
You could buy it mail order, and it just had a list of like every promoter or place in the whole country. It was like a thick sort of newsprint, like a phone book of how to book a tour, and that really worked. So
just the Bible,
crazy.
Back when there were no email, no cell phones,
Right?
Yeah,
answering machines and the phone. That was it. Or sometimes letters. The U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah. I think, as a matter of fact, like that show in Springfield where me and my buddy Mike caught you, it was like we were just going up there in hopes of finding music that night and went to the square, and there were a bunch of skaters, and, we were like, where are you guys going? And they told us about the show, and that's how, we figured out. But we drove from like West Plains up to Springfield, just blind, without any idea where we were going to go.
Where West Plains. Where's West Plains?
It's deep southern Missouri. You go to the middle and go up about 20 miles from Arkansas, and you're in West Plains.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely driven. I mean, a little personal history. I was born in St. Louis and lived in Columbia from like kindergarten through second grade, and then my family moved to Arkansas, Conway, Arkansas. My dad was a TA at a university, and not a professor, but we moved down there, and so began the constant trek between Conway, Arkansas, and the St. Louis area where my grandparents lived. So I'm so familiar with Poplar Bluff and Cape Girardeau, Centralia, like all those Southeast European, Missouri, Southeast European area in southern Missouri. Not many people know of it, but yeah. And now I've driven down to visit my mom in Little Rock, so I kind of occasionally I'll do that. I'll go through Kansas City and then go down through Joplin and Fayetteville, and man,
like
that's got a vibe to it, man. I saw a straight up white power radio station billboard down there. It's like, whoa, it gets creepy. Certainly still active, and it was like in 2016, so it was friggin' Trump. No, actually, it was 2020. Really Trumpy down there.
Yeah. This is about the only place in Missouri, I mean, like I've said, that I'll live. And when you look at the electoral map, you can see why. It's just like Blue Island, right?
Same with Minnesota. It's just this blue blob around the Twin Cities, and it's all red everywhere else. But there's not many people living in those red areas, so
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of even out.
I feel like it kind of balances out in Missouri, but it does not show up that way on like election day. And I don't know, like I feel like Kansas City, St. Louis, Columbia together, that's a pretty huge chunk of the population, and they're all relatively blue.
Mhm.
Man, election day, I don't know.
Yeah, we're always like, well, we did our best. That's what everybody in Columbia says, but
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Get
but
it.
that's
I mean, Arkansas makes Missouri look like, Sweden or something.
Right.
one of those nice places. But
I don't know. You go. Well, I'm sure you go through the boot heel. Some of your.
We actually we played a show in Joplin once that was really weird. They had a half pipe in this, I don't know, kind of, I guess it was a bar, but it had a half pipe. And I remember the stage was I swear it was 8 feet off the floor. And it was this bizarre place. And then nobody came, but we played anyway. And this was Dazzling Killmen. I think we drove from St. Louis all the way to Joplin to play. It was like, okay, let's go home. That was pretty common back then.
Yeah, I thought about a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yep. How'd you wind up in Minneapolis?
Well, after that band, Dazzling Killmen, broke up in 94, I was living out in Washington, Missouri. Me and my then partner, future ex-wife, number one, I'll say. We were living in Washington. She was working for a glass blower, kind of living the craft life, and I was working with we just had sort of these crafty jobs. I'm not an actual artist, but we just were living in Washington, Missouri, kind of going out of our minds. We just went stir crazy. It was we got to get out of here one day. And I looked up an old friend of mine. I don't know how that happened, but I found him, and he was in Minneapolis, a guy I knew from St. Louis. And hey, let's check it out. We were thinking about either Madison, Wisconsin or Chicago. But we went to visit Minneapolis, and just a light bulb went on. It's this is just the right size. It's close enough to St. Louis, within a day's drive, because we still had family there, friends, and just in case we wanted to drive back. And it had tons of creative types and lots of music stuff going on. So we just got real excited, and it's this is where we need to go. And we just loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly. Well, we moved to Minneapolis in the summer of 95. And at that point, I was fed up with playing music. I've done this periodically in my career. I'm done. I am not playing music. And I was just, I quit music, that's what I declare, make these big grand, I quit music. Can you just try another band? No, I gotta quit music. And then that turned into, after a few months of living in Minneapolis, I gotta play in a band again. I didn't really know anyone, and there was a free paper there called the City Pages, and I had never done this. I'm going to put an ad in the paper and see what happens. And I still remember it was per word. So I tried to think of something that would really weed them out. And I just went for it. I just put Dazzling Killmen, Seeking Others. I put Devo, Wire, Raymond Scott, Black Flag. And that's it. That's all I put, and my phone number. And I went to work, and I came home that day from work, and on the answering machine, there was a message from John Dietrich, who I then went on to form Colossamite with. John now plays in Deerhoof. And it's just bizarre. It was just bizarre how quick it happened. And he knew Ed and Chad, they had already had this instrumental band called the Gorge Trio. And he kind of wanted to find new people, and he eventually relented and like, okay, let's just get Ed and Chad in this. So that's what happened with Colossamite. So much for my quitting music.
Yeah.
I just had my body went and like, this feels boring and uncomfortable not being in a band, I guess. So it's been like that, periodically. I've had a few I quit music moments. I'm not in one now. It's like the opposite. I'm in
Yeah.
two. This is the first time I've ever been in two active bands. I never thought I would be a multiple band guy.
You wait till you're in your 60s for that.
Yeah. God, that sounds scary. Yeah. I'm like, wait, what? Oh shit, he's right. Yeah, I know. It is kind of funny. And I don't know how it's going to go because Dazzling Killmen hasn't played any of these shows yet, and those guys all live out in New York, and we're trying to figure it out, and somehow we're able to pay for it. I don't know. It's so funny how our name and people know us way more now than they did back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Way more.
We were, we just had David Silver, on the show, and he was talking, about your band and other bands like this. There's a huge resurgence that's going on now with, what people consider like, noise rock or math rock or what's going on. Chat piles selling out stadiums,
Well, I think,
which is nuts to me.
what makes sense to me is it's, like you were kind of referring to before, it was harder to get gigs back then because there was no internet, and today there is. So if you really like something now, it is a lot easier to lock into something else that you're probably going to get into as well.
Yeah. If you just hear about something, it's 0.1 second and you can go hear it. When the hell is that miracle was not around back then? You had to know someone whose big brother had the record collection or knew a person that worked in a record store or something, some long, arduous path to a band you might like. It was
right. Now there's like an algorithm that's like, oh, you liked that? Check this shit out.
I know.
And what pisses me, I hate it, but I also love it, is like how often like, holy shit, no, you're right.
I've discovered
so many.
I say the S word, but man, that damn evil S word has found me some cool stuff that I have to say. It only goes to show you, though. I mean, it makes sense. Like the algorithm sees what I generally listen to and go. It's like your cool friend who goes like, I bet you like this.
What really freaks me out is when it like locks into your, BPMs in your mind or whatever, and it predicts the next song that you were going to ask it to play.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and it's something way off from, but it, gets used to you and the way that you request shit.
Do you guys listen to radio much anymore? Because I do. I still listen to WFMU mainly online. I love that station. But I used to listen, like college radio. We were just talking about this. Like, remember the college radio charts and KCOU? Is KCOU still going?
Yeah.
I used to be interviewed on a college radio station, and, it was so much fun. There's all this, like, usually these cramped little offices with stickers everywhere, and you could drink beer, and it was such a blast.
I worked at one of those kinds of stations, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Channel Z.
I don't even know.
The Planet at first.
The Planet.
It got bought out. And
I assume they're still around. I know there's KFAI here in town. I hate to say it, but I don't listen to it enough. But that was our Spotify, says the guy in his 60s.
So when I'm traveling, last time I was in Minneapolis, I don't know what station it was I was listening to, but I like to thumb through the channels and just kind of see what's going on locally. And I picked up, there was a band that I have been into ever since that I heard listening to one of the stations there.
There's
Irish
radio.
punk band called Sprints. I
Oh, okay.
shared them with John too. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Radio K. They're like the big University of Minnesota station. They're still going, and they still have every Friday off the record where a live band plays on the air. And man, I feel so guilty thinking like I have not listened to much Radio K, but that used to be back when I first moved here. That was a big deal. If they played you on that station, it was like, wow, you made it. And I don't even pay any attention now because you were on the charts, then you could get signed. That was like the big goal. Like in 93, 94, the Nirvana thing just made everyone crazy. I mean, think of Season to Risk. They got they got hit. They did it. And there was another band from Kansas City that they were called Share UK.
Mm-hmm.
They were like on Interscope or something crazy. We played with them once out in Seattle.
They still do stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Shiner on a major.
Shiner,
Truck Stop Love
and Poster Children. I mean, I just read Rose's book. She talked about how like they had a great time with their major label. They just didn't take the bus and the fancy champagne meals, and they kind of played it smart. And she's like, I have no regrets. That was a good thing for us, which is like the only band I've heard of that's ever said that.
Yeah.
St. Louis had some good band. Like John and I were big time into The Urge.
The Urge, absolutely.
Yeah. Urge.
Yeah. Fragile Porcelain Mice.
I know those guys. They still play occasionally.
Yeah, every once in a while. Yep. I had to look Scott Randall up and have him on the show like early on. And I think just at the time he was teaching. And I mean, so am I, but I'm like, dude, I'd love to have you on the show. He's like, really? It's like, shit.
In a perfect sign of the times in my age, it's like I think I'm LinkedIn friends with those guys. That's where I'm at these days. LinkedIn has become like my third favorite social media. Whatever, boomer.
I bet my wife on MySpace. So.
Oh yeah, man. MySpace was the shit.
It was. I still like a lot of it better than what I had.
Were you guys into SoulSeek and Napster? Did you do that whole file trading thing? Yeah. I did. I was ass deep into SoulSeek. That was where I like. This is a miracle. I still have CDRs that I burned from stuff I found on SoulSeek, raiding people's collections and.
I've got an ancient computer that I won't get rid of just because of what's on the hard drive.
Yeah.
I got my internet shut off by LimeWire once.
Man,
Paul McCartney, son of a bitch. But it
wasn't Lars.
No, it wasn't Lars. It was Paul. It was a Beatles record.
Man,
I downloaded. But the crazy thing was, it's like I just had to show the internet company. It was fun. I just took a picture with like a digital camera of the fact that I already owned that CD, that it was like Beatles 1 or whatever, and it was in the collection somewhere. I was like, I know I already own this. So since I had paid for it via the CD, then I purchased it so I could, download it all I wanted. But it was just so weird that I had to like send them a picture of my CD and then they turned my internet back on.
When was that? Like 25 years ago?
Oh God. Probably around 2000.
It sounds like a long time, but it doesn't. It seems like it was like you tell kids that these days, like, what are you talking about? You can take a picture of your and send it to them so they wouldn't put you in fine you. It's just crazy.
Yep.
And I think really the availability of that fingertip availability might, to go back to the original thing, like why did so many people know who Dazzling Killmen are? Or not so many, but significantly more than when we were an actual functioning band has to be that just the ease of being able to hear it and transfer information, and it's nice. I mean, it means like, it feeds my ego. It's like, I made a dent. I'm like some sort of little bit of legacy. So it's deeply satisfying.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're glad to, just be doing this and putting something out there, in the ether, for our children to listen to later, when we're dead.
Yeah, it's funny. Just recently, I guess it's too early to talk about, but there will be a reissue real soon of a Dazzling Killmen record.
Oh, nice.
Shit. Whatever. But I had to look up some press stuff, clippings, and there weren't very many. And what we actually had were like scissor, like cut out, like pasted to a page, and it's like not very much. Like there was one Maximum Rock and Roll review that compared us to Tar and Jawbox. Like, I don't know, really? Tar? Just weird stuff. And actual press kits with taped on clippings. That was something bands had back then, and they're 8x10 glossies. Not anymore.
No. And you just got what was that review you were talking about? The king of math rock, or somebody referred to you as a math rocker.
Oh, I don't know. I used to dispute that, saying no, but I'm over here trying to learn, like practice the old parts in Face of Collapse, and like, okay, I get it. It is. There's a lot of weird countings, and like there's a lot of space, and that's what I'm having the most trouble with. Is like I can't, I'm playing along with the record, and I can't see Blake, the drummer, like do hits, and it's like, are these counted out? They're so like these spaces between hits, and a lot of these songs are so strange and seemingly improvised, but I don't think they were. I think they were actually specific. I just can't remember, and just kind of have to fake it. There's just going to be a certain amount of blurriness on at least for the first couple of shows, but that's what I'm already losing sleep, literally thinking about not being able to play these correctly, and like how strange it's going to be to step on stage and play something I haven't played in 31 years in front of people. I never, ever, ever thought that would take place. Never, ever. Never.
Do you think you'll have a chance to get together and rehearse at all before?
We have. Yeah, we did rehearse at the end of March, and it worked. It was, Blake lives in this little college town in the middle of New York State called Oneonta, and he taught drums at the college there, and he's always been playing with this other bass player, this guy Evan, and Evan's phenomenal. I mean, Evan is like a music teacher at a college. He teaches bass. He knows his stuff, and so that was sort of built in. Like, oh, Evan can do it. I never met Evan. Blake was so confident. It's like, yep, he's for sure able to. I'm like, wow, those are some pretty big shoes to fill. And then it was so weird that Ben Greenberg came on board. Ben is also in uniform, the band, and also he records a lot of bands. He's really good. In fact, he mixed that the recent Chat Pile album.
Oh, that Cool World. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't record it, but he mixed it. And he kind of found out through the grapevine. I told a couple of people, and one of those people was Theo Noble, who at the time and still is playing drums in uniform. And they were on tour, and Theo told Ben, he's like, hey, Dazzling Killmen are getting back together. And Ben's like, holy shit. And he immediately emailed me. He's like, man, if you need me for anything, I'm in. Like, I didn't really even know Ben. I knew of him. I had a lot of mutual friends, but I'm like, okay, I have no idea. I had a couple of ideas, but he's been great. We get along great, and he knew the whole album. He knows these songs. Like he said, "Oh yeah, I used to play along with these when I was a kid." He said, like in his early 20s, and so we're able to play them. I mean, we played all the songs, and I'm going out there at the end of this month to rehearse again for like 3 days, and then September we'll go out there like a day or two before our first show, and we'll just fire it up and drive down the road and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. I think one thing I'm happy about is the vocals haven't been a difficult thing at all. I can still sound like the old me. I don't have an old man voice.
Right. Well, that's one thing that usually too is like one of the first things to go, just in the way that your voice changes and everything. It's like old guitar players. As long as they're not arthritic, they do they just improve. It just becomes more and more muscle memory. But your voice is something it can go
different.
Yeah.
David Yao's doing pretty good. I think his singing is like completely the same as it's always been. If in that howly sort of shrieky lunatic style vocals
that
I have on occasion. But it's funny. Am I talking too much?
No.
I feel like
we hate it when our guests talk to
right.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm worried that my dog's barking.
You asked me to talk.
An asshole.
I don't care. No, I like it. We were talking. I'm really surprised that like in the belted out as hard as you can style Dazzling Killmen, some of the songs, somehow I don't lose my voice, and never has been like on tour. I never lost my voice, but in some of my other bands like Sicbay and Upright Forms, when it's sort of like I'd say like a loud singing, and I'm trying to do. They might be very loud, but I'm trying to hit notes pitches with my vocal pitches. Yeah. That will shred my vocal cords.
Yeah.
If I don't have good monitors, by the end of the set, they're fucked. I mean, it's so weird how I can scream my head off. And I think it's just like I breathe differently or something. It's just something I've learned, like being in these two bands at the same time. I kind of noticed like, hey, this is like easier to go full out scream than try to like do pitches and notes, like you said. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, you said earlier we weren't rolling yet. We were talking about guitar playing, just being more of a percussive player, and I feel the same way. I mean, I think I need to get more of a workhorse bass, just because I just like to beat the crap out of it. I'm not that technical, but yeah, when you started playing, what were some of the things that led you that way? Do you think instead of just trying to work more on technical skill or anything?
Well, I think when Dazzling Killmen started, which was my first band I was ever in, I knew that Darren and Blake were in music school at the time, and I knew they were like the technical anchor. I had a little bit of loose rein. I could let them do the musician-y stuff, and I could try to be kind of the vocal connection, the words and things like that. And I still think that's true with, I get that now. It's like, I don't know why I'm so worried about playing all these Dazzling Killmen songs accurately when, I mean, the vocals are kind of what I should really care about more. I mean, I don't know. The most fun thing for me, and I didn't even realize, is when Sicbay did a reunion back in 2016. I think it was 2016, the horrible year Trump won year. I think it was then, before he got elected. But I flew back here to Minneapolis. Modern Radio Records was releasing the vinyl version of the Sicbay album, Firelit Scoffs, and I was living in New York, and I said, well, I can't really come there, although I probably could have. Can't really come there to rehearse. Can we have our friend Adam play my parts? And he did it wonderfully. But it was the first time I got to just be a singer in a rock band. And I did it occasionally in Colossamite, here in like one or two songs, but it was so much fun. I felt like this is what I should have been doing. But it's really hard to start a band if you're just the singer. It's kind of, I don't know how bands do it. It's like, okay, we've got these instruments and we're playing these songs. Now we have to find a singer. Like, God, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Or does one person reluctantly give up their their instrument and be the singer? I don't know. It's a strange process.
Yeah. The first band I was a singer, and I got recruited from a band who needed a singer, wanted a singer, and it was fun, but I always felt like a fraud. Just because I didn't have all the technical talent, like that everybody else in the band did. Just anything that I could scream or sing was just naturally, what I could do. And yeah, that was my biggest problem with it. I mean, it was fun, and
were they supportive? I mean, did they
encourage?
They're like, oh, that's good. Everybody was always very complimentary and supportive, and I felt like that. Me not knowing had never done that before, like here, just having the support of my friends.
Yeah. I know more or less it was just my insecurity or anything.
Oh yeah,
feeling bad, but
like that thing I posted on Facebook, like from the Hard Times News, like the guy who's in a coma after hearing his own isolated vocal track in the studio. It's like, oh my God, that was so funny. Like, yeah, that's one of the most soul gouging, upsetting experiences ever.
Yeah.
I've gotten kind of used to it now, though. I have to say, I'm not, because when I'm doing vocal tracks, I'm like, okay, when I'm not singing, don't breathe. Don't keep breathing, like smacking your lips, turn your head away. I know all those little tricks now. It's like, because it's just going to sound like,
right.
It's horrible. But I love singing, and I jokingly said to these guys in Dazzling Killmen, now it's like, man, my dream is to have someone else play these damn guitar parts so I can just be the singer in this band. and they said, no, we like your guitar playing. No, it's great. You're fine. I'm like, shit. Just let me have. I'm an old man. Just let me have this.
Just have an accident. Oh no, I broke my hand.
I actually thought that. I was like,
wear a cast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll have a bicycle accident. My fingers will break.
Just sling it over your back,
Yeah.
Just do that thing and grab them like with both hands.
I could just pay someone to take a sledgehammer to my hand or something. No, I won't.
No, you could just put on a cast, right? And nobody will know.
That's true.
They don't have to be in the
It'll be a scandal. Did you know Nick faked his hand injury?
Right.
Oh my God, really?
You could rig a cast where there's a mic clip in it, and you'd be set.
All right. You heard it here first. Now it's ruined. Now I can't do it. Great.
We'll edit it out. Well, it's fine.
Yeah, edit this part out because that's my plan now.
Good idea.
Take this secret to my grave.
I'll be so proud when I see you on stage with a cast.
It's funny. I was just talking to you might see us sooner than you think. But I was just talking to Steve Tulipana about Kansas City, the possibility of doing a show there next year.
Record bar, mini bar, Lemonade Park.
Please.
Probably be Record Bar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can't say this out loud, but I think looks like there's a good chance of us playing Caterwaul next year. So maybe throw in a Kansas City, as bands do around that. They seem to do the Milwaukee, the Kansas City, Iowa City type.
Well, yeah, Seasoned Risk's doing Caterwaul next year.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just found that out.
Holy shit! Okay, well now, yes, the plan's coming together. Oh my God, they were really good. We played with Upright Forms, played with them here at the beginning of May, and I don't know what it was, but I felt kind of bad. I was thinking, God, were they always this good? Because they were like really good, really. They were good, and I played with them on 4 or 5 occasions, but somehow maybe I just forgot. I don't know, or maybe it's the new guitar player. Speaking of Dirt Nap, the guy Wade is now in Season to Risk, who was in Dirt Nap with Billy back in them old days. So I met Wade maybe the same time I was in the same room with you, John, and also my future bandmate in Sicbay, Dave Erb, was also in a band called Walking Octopus that we played with. So it's like amazing how many people in that room I'm still in contact with and still friends with.
Yeah, that's
really cool.
Huh? I think Mr. Flies is coming to Kansas City on Sunday.
Yeah. They were great.
Yeah, I'd like to go catch that show.
Where are they playing?
I think that's a Record Bar. Isn't that what you?
It's Record Bar. It's not Mini Bar. Maybe Mini Bar or Record Bar.
Are they attached like First Avenue and 7th Street entries? Kind of attached, or are they like in different locations?
They're in different spots, aren't they, Matt? Matt lives in Kansas City, so
Record Bar, Mini Bar, Mini.
Yeah, they're different locations. Yeah,
okay.
One's Record Bar's it's kind of downtown, and then Mini Bar is more like Westport area.
Oh yeah, Westport. Yeah. Played the Hurricane.
Hurricane's gone.
Oh, is it?
A lot of the venues are gone, unfortunately.
Davies
is gone.
Grand Emporium, was that one?
I don't know.
Is that the name of the place? Is that? That's the first place we ever played. We played with Secular Theme, which had Rob Lowe, who of 90 Day Men and Ohm, and that they were one of the best bands we ever played with. They were on fire. It was kind of like Nation of Ulysses or something. Very cool. Like Rob sang through a converted telephone. Like he would do flips like HR and stuff. It was our mouths were open like, holy shit, who are these people? These kids. They look like little kids. They're like all 16.
Yeah.
But those are great moments when you just don't know what's going to happen, and you see a band like that and go, holy fuck, where did they come from?
Yeah. I think we're certainly very lucky to have Steve there doing what he's doing in Kansas City, especially. It's like, oh man, if anybody could have owned, 2 or 3 of those venues, that's the right guy to own it, as far as I'm concerned.
He's been doing great. Like it's been a long time since he's ran those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And given a lot of good bands chances, and stuff like Stony Doom and those guys, and Godzillionaire, and another band you should check out there, Godzillionaire. Check them out for sure.
I've never heard of them.
Do you remember Paw?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mark, the singer from Paw.
They were another major label signing, I believe.
So this is,
dog hunting dog shotgun album
Jesse,
cover.
Yeah. Dragline. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is
Kansas-
even better than Paw. It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Kansas City is really always like huge well of great bands from Kansas City.
Yeah, we don't get the love. I'm
No,
biased.
it's
I'm
not.
really biased.
I agree. I always tell people, man, Kansas City, Quitters Club, Germbox, we played with both those bands. They were they were hard fucking core. They were evil good. They were so good. Germbox especially. We were gonna do a split with Germbox, a split 7-inch, but it never happened.
Oh, nice.
Like, we were just total, like, you know, we love you. No, we love you more. You know, kind of like bandmance, like instead of bromance or
That's
something.
like, yeah, that is one of my favorite things about it. Is like the scene, like artists really support each other here in general.
Yeah,
it's a great place,
and I think you have to work harder for it too. I mean, just anywhere in the Midwest, really. You know, and the crowds are more hungry. You know, good thing.
You got me jonesing for Kansas City.
Man, you got a place to stay. I'm sure you have other places you could stay here too.
Well, probably Steve.
But,
I don't know if he still hosts bands. We stayed with Steve last time when I was down there with the Sicbay, which is, like 20 years ago. Oh my God. Everything's 20 years ago to me.
Everything is.
I find myself saying, like, that was about 25 years ago. That was 30 years ago. I was like, holy God. Everything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm some weird start over.
Yeah. My kid for years would it was back when I was 5. You know, no matter, you know, so it all happened back when he was 5.
Right.
So
how old is he now?
He's 15 now. So he doesn't do that quite as much.
Back when I was 5. Good God. I was in Columbia when I was 5. Kicking around Hinkson Creek looking for snakes.
Nice.
That's right near my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right behind your house.
Right behind my house, yeah. Hinkson.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know if this is the Bear Creek or the Hinkson.
Oh, yeah.
Might be Bear.
Did you grow up in Columbia?
No. I grew up in northern Illinois. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, south of Chicago, about an hour and a half or so. Kind of close to the Iowa border, really.
Huh.
Yeah. Quad
My
Cities
girlfriend is from Champaign originally, so I'm always I'm always going through there, hanging out.
Party town. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a fun party town.
Yeah, I don't think there's much going on as far as like a live music scene in Champaign anymore. There's the guy from Hum owns a bar, kind of outside of town called, I think, the Loose Cobra, something Cobra. It's supposedly really great. I mean, it's in this little 300 population town, like outside of Champaign, but he has a recording studio there and has like sets up a stage outside all the time. Has really good bands. I've always kind of wanted to go play there.
Right on.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah.
Their major label signing.
How many dates are you all going to be out then?
We're doing 5 out east, and I will say 3 in November. I can't. One of them's not confirmed. Like there's still some that are not 100% confirmed, but I think I can safely say for sure 5 out east and 3. Kind of a long weekend at the end of November, 21st, 22nd.
Yeah.
And 20th. But that's not set in stone. That's such a long way off.
Yeah. Ooh,
but yeah,
what's going to happen?
And we hope to go to Europe next year. Like we we have a booking agency that has taken us on. It's called Swamp Booking, and they book uniform and Page 99 and all these friends of ours, and they are trying to get us into road burn. So that would be kind of a dream.
Yeah, that'd be outstanding.
And we're fingers crossed we might be doing it with Def Club.
Oh, nice.
That would be, yeah. They ripped my brain out of my skull in Caterwaul. They were fucking great. Oh my God. They were scary good.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have been able to catch them anyway because they played on Monday, I think.
Yeah,
so it was like,
did.
Yeah, we would have had to leave, but damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had Justin on the show before, and he's a character, man.
Yeah. I watched that documentary recently on him. That was
Don't Fall in Love with Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Man, one that I saw the other day was the I didn't even know was out, was The Color of Noise. The Hatemeyer. That'd be Reptile.
That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
I think it's on Amazon. I think you can get it.
It's really good. I like the art in it a lot.
Yep, it's well done. Yep.
Any?
Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying. Anything else you want to plug, or anything else before we?
No, I can think of. It hasn't been announced, but there's something coming with Dazzling Killmen, and other than the shows, I mean, it's circular and it's platter shaped.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not new. It's not. We haven't recorded anything new. I'll just say that.
Is it a puppy?
It's a puppy.
A puppy.
We're going to release a puppy into the wild. Found a puppy, and we're just going to set it free.
Keep an eye out for that on Bandcamp, or what's the best spot?
Skin Graft Records.
Skin Graft.
We like Skin Graft.
Yes, keep your eye on the Skin Graft.
All right.
Well, it's been really fun. I should probably go to the grocery store and get something to eat.
All right, man.
I can't afford restaurants anymore.
No kidding.
The world where everything's $17, no matter what it is.
It hurts. Yep.
That sucks. But Nick, thank you so much for coming on.
For sure.
Hey,
appreciate it.
You. It was really fun.
Good.
Come back anytime.
Anytime, man.
Anytime. Just come on and bullshit if anything.
All right. Tomorrow it is. See you tomorrow.
Sounds good. All right.
Take it easy.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Don't disconnect quite yet.